Hey everybody, this is Julie, the Maine Stamper. I'm an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up! And I'm here today with a video segment called Mondays Are Hard, Stamping Shouldn't Be. And in this series, I'm going to be exploring cards that have minimal supplies in them and require minimal efforts on your part to make fabulous resulted cards. So in today's series we are going to be working on this pretty card here featuring the beautifully braided stamp set, and this stamp set is available in Stampin' Up's catalog, the newest one out, January to June 2020 mini. And this particular stamp set, which happens to be my all-time favorite right now, also comes available with the braided border punch as a bundle. So you can purchase both of them if you want, 10% savings when you bundle as always. But because today's feature requires minimal supplies, we're going to only be using the stamp set. So that's right, one stamp set for this card, lots of stamps in it. We're also going to be using two colors of ink. So we're going to be using Melon Mambo and Memento Black, so two ink pads. And we're going to use two colors of cardstock. We've got Melon Mambo and Whisper White cardstock. So one stamp set, two ink pads, two colors of cardstock. Fabulous card! So follow along with me and see how I'm going to make this. Okay guys, so once again, this is the card that we're making today, featuring Melon Mambo, Whisper White, and Memento Black ink. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our card base first, and we're going to fold it in half, as always, and score it. And something that I like to do is I like to score my card base, and then I like to flip it around and inside out it and score it again. So when you score it twice like this, you're going to get a really crisp and clean inner crease, which is what I like to see. I don't like to see those messy creases. So this is a little tip, just score your cardstock twice and you'll be able to get a really nice fold on that base. Okay, so we're going to take Whisper White paper and we're going to start doing some stamping. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to stamp our word background. So this stamp says, kindness comes in many ways, but always from the heart. And I think that's a very timely stamp right now, as everyone's trying to be a little bit kinder to everyone else. So we're going to start from the top. I realize this may be upside down as you're watching it, but I'm going to basically be lining up the words across the top of this paper. And we're going to start out trying to be as straight as we can, because we're going to go all the way down through. So you don't want to overlap them here because the top of this is going to be seen on your card. But as we're working downward, we have the option to overlap our words in the middle, because the middle is going to be covered up. So for example, right here, I can just come over here and I can overlap right here because this is going to be covered up by the next piece of paper. So I'm going to continue from the top going all the way down, and I'm just going to continue to stamp. So again, this is very important that you have a nice background paper here to stamp on, because you can see from the mess I'm making that I'm stamping off onto my back paper. So you want to make sure you've got a nice paper behind you so you're not getting ink everywhere. But I'm going to continue going down through this card stock, and basically what happens is once you've got that all done, you've got this. I'll flip this around a little bit here so you can see it. So you can see where I've stamped over in the middle a little bit. Some of it's not even stamped at all. And that's okay, because as we're creating this card, this piece of pink, Melon Mambo, is going to cover. So you can see that you want your words on the edges and your words on the top and bottom to be lined up really nicely, because that's what you're going to see. So this is a great practice technique so that you can practice a lot of stamping. So you can see there's a lot of stamping done on there, but it was one stamp, one ink pad, and we got a great background pattern. It's kind of one of my favorites actually to do. I love to take the words and just create that background pattern with stamps. So I'm going to now attach this stamped background paper to my card base. I like to use the green glue. I'm a green glue girl. And just quick and easy, we've got our card base and we've got our first layer on there. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next one. We've got this Melon Mambo. And next we're going to use this stamp. I'm not really sure how you would describe this, so I'm not going to even try because I don't know what I would call them. Regardless, we're going to create a little pattern with these as well. So I'm going to start at the top again, and I'm going to stamp some of these again. So we're stamping off the paper, we're stamping on the paper. I'm trying to line them up so that I'm stamping full images on my cardstock. And I'm just going to kind of go back and forth as I go here. And I'll do 4 here because I can get 4 across here. And re-inking with the Melon Mambo again. So this is Melon Mambo on Melon Mambo. And you can just kind of decide how many of them that you want to show across. And we're going to go back and forth, and we're just going to do anywhere from 3 to 5. You can do 6, I believe, all the way across at one time if you wanted to do all the way. I like random patterns. And so in theory, if you were to create this card again, it would look totally different because every time you do it, you might choose a different random pattern. So just go ahead and stamp all the way down through and get all your images lined up however you like them. Oops, sorry. And there we have it. So that's our random pattern. Stamped all the way down through. A little bit here, a little bit there. So again, I'm going to take the green glue and I'm going to apply this to my layers here on my card base. This one I'm going to center just nicely. A little bit of adjusting. A little bit more adjusting. There we go. Okay, so there we have it. So far we're doing great, right? This part is my favorite part. This is the part with the big flower stamp. Love the big flower stamp. So I'm taking my memento and I'm actually applying it to the stamp while the stamp is facing up. This is the easiest way, rather than trying to take this and go all over your stamp pad. I prefer to stamp it or ink it the opposite way. So here it's going to overlap again the paper, so the stamp is actually bigger than our paper. And I'm going to pull that off. Always creates a nice image. And then we're going to come back in with the Melon Mambo ink, and we're going to use this little filler stamp, which kind of looks like a cloud. So I think it could make really nice clouds in your cards. So when you're stamping, using your stamps, just kind of keep your mind open, different possibilities. But today this is a filler for our flowers. So just a quick little bit of Mambo Melon ink onto our card. Stock here with the flower image. And that one's done. We're going to put a little green glue on it. And this is going to go on to the base as well. So this one, you can decide if you want to, move it one way or the other. So you can see that you're going to see a little bit of your stamped image. You're going to see a little bit of your stamped image on both sides, but you're not going to see all of it. So that takes care of that. So next we're going to do the little phrase for the front of the card. This one says, "Friendship refreshes the soul." So again, I'm taking the Memento ink onto the Whisper White cardstock. And I'm going to stamp that on there. And then I'm going to simply glue this together and make a nice little framed, beautiful phrase for my card. And then I'm going to put a little bit of glue on here. And I'm going to put it onto my card front here. So again, we're covering up some of our images, but it's okay because we're still seeing lots of good stuff. So this is our card. This was pretty quick and easy to put together. It's got pink on the inside, so I always like to add a white insert when I have color cardstock. So what I'm going to do for the inside to show it a little bit of love is I'm going to use my flower stamp again. And I'm just going to stamp a little bit here. Let me make sure I've got the ink where I really want it. Okay, so we're going to put a little bit in the corner. So, press it down nicely. And then we're going to add a little bit of the Melon Mambo here to cover up the flowers, like that. And I could certainly stamp or write something beautiful on this. And then this would very simply go on the inside of the card as well. So add a little bit of glue in the 4 corners. And put this in here. So now there's the inside, just as pretty as the outside. Look at that. Hey guys, so I hope you enjoyed the card today that we made with the beautifully braided stamp set, and I hope that I showed you that minimal supplies and minimal efforts can create fabulous cards. If you like this and want the directions or the card recipe, go over to my blog, themainestamper.com. I will have all the information there on all of the different dimensions that went into this card, some pictures as well on the making of it, and be sure to check back every Monday. I'm going to add a new segment to this series. Mondays are hard, stamping shouldn't be, so I'm going to continue to show you that with minimal supplies and minimal efforts, you can have fabulous results. Make sure you're sending cards out in the mail. This is a great time to let people know that you're thinking about them and that you care. So please head to those craft rooms, create a card, and have a great day. Bye.